I tell you, I don't have more butterflies in my stomach in a great way when I have my brother, the Violator, on the show with me. Wayne, how you doing, sir? Up, you're muted.
Right
Yeah,
there.
there you go.
I mean,
Up, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah.
Now we're good. Yeah. What's going on, man?
Hey, man, doing great. Appreciate you having me on to talk Raiders and all of the hoopla that's going on around Raider Nation, man. It's excitement for the all season, but at the same time, it's pump the brakes and let's just look at how everything opens up poetically. Uh, there's a lot of good stuff on the horizon, and I don't think the mainstream media is enjoying that. That we're about our tide is about to rise.
Yeah, because all they do is they put an anchor or where they and the lifeboat. Let me bring it back. In the lifeboat that is Raider Nation, where we're all on a lifeboat and we're all trying to get up to the ship to get to the higher seas. The ship above us will throw the anchor into the lifeboat to put a hole in the lifeboat and to sink the lifeboat that is our fans. That's a little bit naval for you, but it's true. It's like anytime that there's something that's positive, it's like they turn around and turn a circle. And yes, this is sexist as fuck. They have a circle of men pissing in our bowl of Wheaties. And I'm sitting around because ladies, I'm sorry, that wasn't meant to exclude you, but it's kind of harder for you to aim your urine into the bowl if it's in a circle. I'm sure if you had a circle of ladies, but I think it'd just be a lot more difficult. Whereas dudes, we can just aim and point, and that's all I ever see is that the powers that be or the social media on the upside, that all they do is just F the Raiders this and the Raiders are effed up that, and let's do whatever we can to piss on the Raiders. And I'm getting kind of sick of it. Now, granted, for a long time, we've shot ourselves in the foot and we've given them all the ammunition that they've needed. But I think now, like you and I have been saying for years, one of these days we're going to get shit right and we're going to turn the corner. And I think we started to figure that out. And your thoughts on the way the Raiders have gone about it just in this offseason, for the last week, just in the last week, what they've done.
Think about it. Think about it, brother. We're trying to box with one hand behind the back because the guy that we wanted, we couldn't get until after all the festivities were said and done. So patience is a virtue in that respect. A lot of us, I'm talking about Raider Nation, the fan base, were losing their minds, so to speak, or going into what I call a state of panic. And when old Raiders know you don't panic, stuff will work itself out. All you do is what did John Madden say? Keep loading the wagon. You keep loading the wagon. And Raider Nation is the fuel behind that. But you have to be sort of like a calm within the storm, brother, if that means any sense. I grew up in the South with the tornadoes and the hurricanes. So there's a center of that storm. And you want to be in that because that's where it's quiet. Outside, chaos. So what I'm feeling, like I said, we can't see around curves, but what I'm feeling is that finally the front office is getting itself structured right. And then you've got, we were saying about needing young football minds for everybody to grow together. And that's what's exactly taking place with a few graybeards sprinkled in for wisdom. So, and the media already is getting that. and they don't like it at all because we will not be denied come shortly. And I just feel that in my bones, brother. We've been talking about this a good part of 20 plus years about the resurgence. Well, it's the ship is finally getting its bearings, and now we see point A, where we're trying to get to.
Yeah. I was going to say, Hot Neil, I'll ask Violator about that later on. That's Raider Fearless. He's talking about our minority owner, but we can get to that later. And
we definitely need to put a little dampening on that whole mentality right there. But let's circle back.
Yeah, well, we'll circle back. Remind me if I don't do it, but I wanted to at least address it. Everybody's saying hi and gladding ourselves, and we're doing all of this. And the positives keep rolling.
Yeah.
Because, and I had said this when we had done our show with Coach Defense a couple times. I said, until I see the name on the dotted line and there is a press conference.
Yeah. You did say it.
I'm going to say I don't, because again, for those that don't know, and you should know this by now, Klint Kubiak comes from Denver lineage. His father, Gary Kubiak, played for the Broncos for years, played under Mike Shanahan's system. Mike Shanahan, who is not a fan of Al Davis and the Raiders. So he grew up this was very hated when he was a kid. So he grew up that way. And then he goes and starts his coaching resume under people like his father's coach. He actually also started coaching with under his father's son's tutelage, the other Shanahan, wherever he was. So they pretty much have followed themselves around. There's the McVays and the Shanahan system. Those guys come from fantastic offensive ideologue, and that upbringing is fantastic. But when you got your father in your ear and hit the father's coach in your ear, and the father's coach's son kind of being maybe lukewarm because he has his own deal going on, you got to imagine that people were talking, you don't want to go to the Raiders. You don't want to go to the Raiders because of X, Y, and Z. But I will say that the old Al Davis school, that's gone.
Gone.
That's gone. His son is not his father. And Vegas is not Oakland. We both you and I have been banging the drums that even the other fans that come in, and you and I have said this, when fans come over and take over our stadium like they do 90% of the games, okay, even if it's 50-50, that's a loss for the Vegas Raiders. That's a loss.
By our standards.
Exactly. Because we would go into Oco, and it would be a literal blackout. The black hole was not just the area behind the end zone. The black hole was the area where you were in with Senora on the side. The area that Aphrodisiac was in on that other side where I was at for a little bit. The whole stadium was the black hole. So it doesn't come to that. And I tell fans when they say, well, I don't know about going to a Raider game, I say, dude, this ain't Oakland. So don't worry about, if you want to go get jumped in the parking lot, go to San Francisco. Go to San Francisco. Those are where the thugs are. And I'm sorry if you're a Niner fan and you get offended by what I'm saying, but that's pretty much the way it is. Although they've gone down to where they can't even get into their own stadium because their prices are so high. They'll come to Vegas for a game because it's actually cheaper than going to their stadium. And that's amazing because the Raiders have the highest ticket prices going. But, I apologize. I go off subject at times. The fact that when Klint Kubiak said at the very end of the Super Bowl when he was trying to get pegged down by the lady that was the what do you call it, the attendant with the mic, whatever, the lady with the mic, let's call her that.
Yeah, field correspondent.
Field correspondent. Yeah. Hey, I didn't say that, bitch. I was trying to hold. It's like it wasn't. Those words were not coming. Field correspondent with the microphone, and they pegged him, and he said, "Oh hell yeah, I'm going to Vegas." I didn't need to see a press conference, because that to me told me that everything was down and it was ready to go. So when it finally came to fruition on Tuesday that Kubiak is announced, that made me feel good. I still haven't seen his press conference. I don't need to, because I've gotten the highlights from all the people there. But Wayne, did you see it, or were you there, or where you're part of anything? Because I know that you have people on high that tell you things that go on within the building, things that you can address to the folks that were told to you.
Well, I wasn't there, but I did watch because I knew what time it was. So I was tuned in, waiting. Brother, like you said, what he said at the end of the game, hell yeah, I'm going, that was spoken from the heart. So that kind of let me exhale, so to speak, that things were already in place. They were just on hold. So after the game, he didn't have to hold anything back. The press conference was one like I hadn't seen before. And the naysayers would say, oh, it was too much pomp and circumstance, but it was a rolling out of the red carpet, roll out by the legends themselves. So as soon as you saw these guys being introduced and walked up to the podium, it already had set the standard right there. And he's backstage waiting for his turn to come out. So that was already that energy in the backstage, so to speak. So when he came out, he spoke just like I expected him to speak. The best part to me was that Mark Davis was nowhere in the shot. He's chilling in the back. And that just shows you that, true to his words, what he said, he's putting people in place to run football operations. That was kind of refreshing. But when these legends greeted Coach Kubiak, you could it's chemistry. Everybody's cordial when they greet each other, but this was almost like a respect thing, like a brother from another mother, like you and I, brother from another mother kind of thing. And when he spoke about watching the Raiders as a kid, that's when my ears kind of perked up, because I remember him kind of running around, it's just a coach's kid to us at that time, but you never know where life will take you. And when he said that he pretty much respected us being the enemy because of the standard and the way that the grit, that's the way he said it, the grit that we played with. He admired that, even though he's on the other sideline. So that just shows you that there's something to this shield that's universal, man. And when he spoke, it was just like, he didn't say it in these words. He's like, I'm living out my dream. Now he gets to lead a squad in his own way. And he's got all kind of input from his dad, his brothers, you know what I'm saying? And other mentors along the way. Speaking of that, the special teams coach that we hired today, I think.
Yes.
That's going back in his Rolodex years ago. So it just shows you things are happening for us at the right time. We're not forcing anything like seasons past or all seasons past. There's no panic in the building. And all these, I'm watching, social media, YouTube mostly, all these reports and X, all these reports and just these people have jobs and they have to put something out there. And I get that from being around media all these years. I get that. But us as fans, we have to further educate ourselves. And I'm speaking to our younger generation mainly. We have to get educated on what that shield and cap wearing means, what it's all about. I wish that they would really get to know some of the old guards better. Reach out to those guys and get some war stories told directly to you, not from a post on Instagram or on Twitter, on X. You hear from their voice, you hear the passion that comes with the moments that they speak of. So this thing to me, Cap, is getting ready to come full circle on foreign soil.
Great. And you were talking about, the influx of the folks with the right attitude and that are coming in there. You spoke, I think it's Joe DeCamillis, who's a long time special teams guru. And I would put his name up there. Y'all remember Rich Bisaccia, who was a very good special teams guy. Okay. Joe DeCamillis and Rich Bisaccia are probably top 5 of all of the special teams guys that I can think of in the league. Okay. So it's not like we went out and got a detriment a la the butt that we fired earlier. That was a train wreck with the Broncos. Not going to remember. Don't remember his name. Don't want to. Okay. He was a coach. Piss poor, but he was a coach. He was a special teams guy. Joe DeCamillis is highly respected. And that's why I was saying before, I said, hey, if you want to get a staff, you might want to go out and see what Rich Bisaccia's correspondence, what his contract was, because I'd bring him back here. Joe DeCamillis, you don't have to. Okay, the guy that is the special teams coordinator with the Chiefs, he has that wasta. Okay, Bisaccia has that wasta. DeCamillis has that wasta. Okay, these guys are great at their craft. So now we got a brand new head coach. We have a fantastic assistant head coach in Mike McCoy that's going to be the right-hand man for Kubiak, so that when he's calling plays during the game, it's going to be incumbent upon Mike McCoy to kind of make things run, because a first-time head coach, it's a lot of things going on.
Yeah. A lot of things.
Yeah, a lot of things. Yeah, thank you there, Sacktown. If you're watching and you like what you're watching, please hit the like button. Thank you there, Mike. I appreciate that. 21 people in here. We should have at least 20 likes. And because I'm in here and I don't count myself. But yeah, especially with that guy. I mean, the hell with me. Okay. We got Violator in the house. Okay. You see me all the time. It's Violator. So I'm liking that. Like I said, Kubiak, McCoy, DeCamillis. The fact that we got and we retained Rob Leonard and upgraded him and made him the defensive coordinator, a job that he promoted himself to. He was very, very worthy of that job. He was worthy of that job. There's been a talk, even I was talking about, maybe bringing over the disgruntled DC from the Browns, but that whole situation is a train wreck, and he is a prima donna. He's a great defensive guy. Don't get me wrong, but all of the baggage and other stuff that you get with him, plus we'd have to give up stuff for him. No, Rob Leonard was in-house, and he got the promotion well deserved. So great there. And so those are the big 3. Then we just assigned, and I don't know if it's Janako or Janico. I'm not sure.
Janoko, Andrew Janoko.
Okay. I want to make sure I get that right, because everybody F's up my last name all the time.
Yeah,
for
same here.
61 years, they screw up my last name. So, but if it's Janoko, Janoko, right?
Yeah, Andrew.
Okay.
Yeah.
Drew. Call him
AJ.
Drew.
AJ. Yeah, AJ. That's what we're going to know him as AJ. Watch.
Right. Can't screw up AJ.
You can't screw that up.
Other than our punter. But no, so AJ comes in here as the offensive coordinator. Yes, I get it. The offensive coordinator for our team is Klint Kubiak, but AJ is coming in here to be the quarterback whisperer. He did so much to help out the winning Super Bowl coach, that guy that nobody wanted, including our minority owner, when the minority owner had a chance to get him this past offseason, he said, yeah, nah. We'll take Gino because that guy's a flash in the pan. Well, that flash in the pan just won a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
So, and it was part of Kubiak's system. It was part of AJ getting to know him and talking to him. So that's going to be a positive thing. I know that he's going to be able to mold the plays that are going to be called by Kubiak. Now, I'm hoping we can get the offensive line coach or the assist. I know we asked to go talk to the assistant O-line coach, and we're told by the Seahawks, no.
Yeah.
So to me, that means he's getting a promotion, which betwixt me is like, well, what are they doing with their offensive line coach? How you doing, Richie Richey? What are they doing with their O-line coach? Are they promoting him? Don't know. Well, that remains to be seen. But if we can get one of those guys in the building, these guys are pedigree offensive guys. Yeah, no, we ain't getting Luke Getsy. That's gone.
No. I can't see the comments, but hell no.
No. Well, I tell you what, I'll put it on for you because this way, there they go. There you go. Anyone but Getsy, and it's not Chip Olson, but I know who you meant. You know, we've had 3 iterations of Greg Olson.
Yeah, 3.
We don't need 4. And again, good to see you there, Richie Richey. We're doing things right. Now, I was told by sources that they were reaching out for Harbaugh to come in as special teams guy. So apparently that fell through. But I tell you what, D. Camillus is an upgrade. I'm telling you.
They hit the bullseye with him. As soon as I saw the name, and I'm thinking, man, and I remember him from the Broncos. And I'm thinking, man, that guy used to kill us on special teams. And it's almost like, there's 3 divisions on a team.
Yes.
Just I'm being elementary with it when I say this, but special teams is 1/3 of the entire team. So if that 1/3 is shit in the bed, chances are you may lose a lot of games because of that 1/3 that's not pulling their weight, so to speak. But this guy is going to get these guys cracking in the right direction, man. And what I like about all the guys hired. They're no nonsense. They're football guys.
Well, Richie Richey gives a nay on Joe DeCamillis as a Bronco fan. But Richie, I can only tell you what I saw in Denver, what I saw with the Rams, I think he was with the Texans. I saw teams that were very well coached and hit you hard and caused turnovers. So, I guess that's personal for you. You don't like Joe DeCamillis. And again, Richie's a Denver guy. But I seem to recall there's nothing horrible with Joe DeCamillis. I know that we was like when we got was it McDowell? It was a Mac. The guy that we fired that was I can't even remember. I thank God I'm brain farting his name. The guy we fired during the season that was the special teams guy for the Broncos. And every Bronco I was talking to is like, man, you guys are going to hate that guy. Good riddance. You guys can have him. So we finally got rid of him. So. I'm sorry. Go ahead there, V. You were breaking up.
And because of the background, all at the right time, I with all history of seeing that is going to help The media is aware and trying to grow.
Yeah, okay. Hopefully we'll get there we go.
There we go.
Yeah, you were I was hating life trying to get you to and I got rid of my windows. I said maybe it's me, so yeah, let's try that again.
Yeah, yeah. But like I was saying, the combination of all these coaches, they've come from different directions, but they're coming to be a team now with us. And I think the people in the know that these guys all have credibility about them. They have winning history about them, and now they're wearing silver and black. So they're looking at them all different. Instead of saying, "Hey, congratulations, Raiders," they're coming up with anything negative to throw out there to make us doubt ourselves or our decisions. And like I always say, you can show them better than you can tell them. So just stay quiet, stay focused on the direction that we're going, and let the pieces fall where they fall, man.
Yeah, and I can't wait to get on out to, and that gives me the next segue. Both Violator and myself will be. And Richie gives a home run. Thank you, Richie. Says our head coach is a home run, so that's high praise from Richie over in Bronco land. I was going to say both Violator and myself will be out for the Max Crosby Commitment to Excellence dinner in about 2 weeks, right?
A couple of weeks, yeah.
Yeah. So people were saying, what's the word I'm looking for? People will say what they want about the hiring of Rob Leonard. I said it was a promotion that was well deserved. Others are saying that it is an appeasement to Max Crosby. I don't think it is. Like I said, this guy busted his ass and is a coach or is a name that was probably going to get his spot as a defensive coordinator soon. Okay. So the fact that he stayed in building and the fact that him and very few people that were on staff were retained
yes.
by the Raiders, when we got rid of, God, I'm 30 minutes in. I don't think I've dropped an F-bomb yet. I don't think so.
No, you've been great, man. You've been great.
I'll wait till hour one. Okay. Tweedle F1 and Tweedle FD. Okay. The two sons of Pete Carroll, they're gone, and a bunch of other people. But Rob Leonard was retained. A couple other coaches were retained. And honestly, I didn't see the whole list, but I did ask because my buddy Ed was saying, "Hey, did you see all the coaches that were fired?" And the first words I said to Ed was, "Hey, did they retain Rob Leonard?" And the answer was yes.
Yes.
So that's fantastic. And I was going to say, is Joe Woods?
He's still there. He's retained.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. And Richie says, positives for him too. And that's good to have relative great coaches on our staff. So
Yes.
we're good to see that.
Like I say, all no nonsense guys, man. All about ball, and that's what we need to set a standard. That was, you saw that in hashtags last season, I think. But we really need to we're hitting reset now, but we really need to reset the standard that always was, and and it doesn't have to come from us. And what you said about letting good players leave the building, well, this is retaining a good coach that somebody else would have loved to have had on their staff. So this guy's worked his way up, and that's also keeping some continuity within the building. So it's almost it's sweet music coming together, man. That's the way I'm looking at it. But I'm always a glass half full kind of guy.
Right. And for those that are, and I said this, if you think that you're going to hear a peep from the Raiders if, and let me quantify this, if the bullshit that you've been hearing in the airwaves about Max Crosby, if you think you're going to hear a peep about that before March 1st, don't even tune in, because Max is going to go to that dinner. He's going to get his award, and he's not going to say anything negative to the folks that are there. No, you're not gonna piss on and shit on the people on the way out the building if you're going to do that. So if you're waiting for anything about Max Crosby, tune in March 1st, because that is after the dinner, and we will see. And I'd like to have your thoughts about what you think, because I'm sure you've had your thoughts. What are your thoughts on Max Crosby leaving?
I'm leaning more towards him staying, Cap, and this is why I say that. He's well established in the Vegas community. Not that he can't play for another team and still live here, but I just look at Max, and I'm saying this hopefully that he sees this before the dinner. I always looked at him as an old soul and a guy that was pretty much born to be a Raider, even though he may not fit the stereotype at first glance. You remember when his rookie year, we were like, who is this skinny kid from Eastern Michigan? But when he got on the field and you start to see that motor that he had, he reminded me of, and I want to say Ted Hendricks, but I want to say Ben Davidson. He played like that to me and still does to me. And the reason I say I'm leaning forward more towards him staying is that whatever feathers were ruffled, in the last 2 weeks of the season, we all know that. So I don't want to stomp on some old shit, but that's just communications. And whatever was wronged by either side, it's very easy to make that right. And if it's about this, give them a little bit more and let peace be still, and let's go win another trophy in our lifetime, brother.
Yeah, thank you for saying that, because that's what I want to say is I hope to be on this earth and cognizant. I mean, if I'm on this earth and I'm a vegetable up here, it doesn't do me any good. But I hope to be on this earth and, firing on all four cylinders, watching the presentation of a Lombardi trophy to Mark Davis, because that is the greatest way to kind of do this to our.
While you put a ball around that, tie a ball on that, you know what I mean? Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. I figure that I'd like to see it in my lifetime, and maybe a couple.
And yeah, a couple would be great, brother. But here, in all jokes aside, it would be great for the Gen Zs and the millennials who haven't witnessed that. We've seen it. So we know what they're capable of, and we know what our standard is. It's just we want to ride. We lost our way is the easier way to put it. We just lost our way. In losing our way, we lost our identity. To this day, we still don't have one. The fan base does. So we've got to kind of bring that back to the forefront, put it on Front Street. Not just it being talked about, but we're living that. And the team is performing like that. They don't have to say a word. Something else Kubiak said in his press conference was about let the silent tape talk. Dude, I wanted to run through a wall because I know what he's saying. Let the silent tape do the talking. So, like I said, man, it's just jubilant anticipation, but I titled it cautiously optimistic. Like I say, glass half full all the time.
Okay, and definitely so. And for folks, again, in case you didn't know, we are talking with Wayne Mabry Violator, a Hall of Fame member. That's why he's got that Hall of Fame 21 next to his name. something that is not bestowed upon all the fans, but just like Hall of Fame members get that knock on the door or that thing where they come in and you have a big bastard by the name of David Grant greet you. Wayne, for those that have never heard you talk about that, I figured we'd get a chance for you to relive that moment of when Mr. Grant came to your door and told him that you were going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, Miss David Baker.
No, Baker. David Baker.
I'll keep it brief, brother. That was like, we sometimes fantasize about our lives or dream. This was a living dream. And the way that I got into all of that, and I'm going to give my thanks right now to Howie Long, forever, brother. Throwing my name in the hat for that at that particular time when you've got two other Raiders going in, Raider players going in. So I kind of title that Raiders trifecta because I don't think that'll happen again in our lifetime. I just don't. And there was always some pushback with that. But the main part of that was talking to Mr. Baker, and it's like I've known this guy my whole life. We had met in person that weekend. That was it. But the passion was there. He's a football guy, and in us getting into football talk, they had to constantly interrupt us and stop us to do filming for the little stuff we had to do. But that knock on the door, man, my wife was sitting right there with me when that happened. I was in the mindset that I wasn't going to get the knock. That's how well that they played the whole thing out, man. So I'm sitting in a room, a big ballroom, just me and her. I'm mic'd up, so I can't really speak what was on my mind at the time. So it's just sitting there kind of twiddling your thumbs, and you hear the knock on the other doors down the hallway. You can hear that. So I heard a couple of knocks, and then I heard silence for like 10, 15 minutes. So we're thinking everybody was done, and they're going to walk in the door and tell me, hey, it was nice meeting you, blah, blah, blah. They did that, made that little wait time just to get me more anxious. And I kept telling my wife, I can't say nothing, but something's up. Mm-hmm. So he knocks with that big fist, boom, boom, boom. He comes in, man, and like I say, your heart just drops because now it's real. And the cams are rolling as he comes in. Greatest moment of my life, brother. And like I said, just being able to represent the silver and black after all these years of stomping the yard, man, that's a fan's fantasy dream coming true. So we'll always be proud of that. And Howie's got that special spot for just thinking enough of me to put that name in the hat. Who knows if they're going to have that anymore with the new regime that's in the hall right now. I don't think they're fan-friendly like that. I'm just putting it out there. So yeah. It was a special moment, brother, because I'm just like, wow, dude, everything happens in God's time. And like that Lombardi that we just spoke of, I want to be coherent, able to walk the boulevard or ride the boulevard just to be in that parade, man, to feel that moment like it was in LA back in 84, man, just crazy, man. So I want the youngsters to witness this so that they can see that those old guys, they'll be talking about you and I, those old guys knew something. Yeah, we do. But you have to carry that torch within you. Like you and I, Oakland will never die because anytime I speak of the Raiders, I'm speaking of Oakland.
Man, I'm honest, okay? People tell me, well, I remember seeing you back in LA, Cap. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No. I don't know who you were talking about, but there was I was never in LA. And I kind of missed out on that. It's not my fault, but I didn't get out to the West Coast or even see any of those games until I was stationed in the Navy in like 1989 and 90. Yeah. I missed going to Oakland for the preseason game with the Oilers in 89 by 1 month because I was there temporarily over in Alameda And I pleaded with my command to give me another month of temporary assignment. And they're like, you're coming back to the Philippines. So I missed that. So I didn't get a chance to see the Raiders in LA. I mean, I was in San Diego for my game up at and granted it was Jack Murphy Stadium, none of this Qualcomm crap.
Yeah.
Jack Murphy. I lived up the street from Jack Murphy. So I remember walking into the Oakland Coliseum my first time. And the last couple times that I did, or the first couple times I did, it was always like the Monday night opener. We got our asses kicked by the San Diego Chargers one year, got our asses kicked by the Denver Broncos another year, got our asses kicked, not kicked, but we should have won against the Chargers the last Monday night home opener where Lewis Murphy had a touchdown called back, and then Sproles was their running back / return specialist, and he's the one that turned the lights out eventually. And I would hate when I can't remember what the name of that guy who was the sack machine that did the lights out dance, and he got his ass booed, no doing that stuff. And
Sean
Merriman. There you go. Yeah, it was great to see. My first win in the Coliseum was the Thursday night game. We were 0-10, and Derek Carr got his first win against the Chiefs on Thursday night. It was the Thursday night game, and thank God for Justin Tuck calling a timeout to get our boys back on side, or God knows what would have happened after that. Walking out of that stadium for my first win. See, it still chokes me up.
Yeah,
first win in Oakland. I'd like to probably ask you, what was your most favorite game that you can think of, possibly? And you can go from LA back to Oakland on these.
I've got two. I got one in LA, one in Oakland. Still waiting on that one in Vegas. Maybe I got one, but the LA one was the home opener. I think I don't remember if we were playing the Seahawks, but I just remember that was my very first game going to Will Call to get my ticket with my 6-pack of Mickeys and standing at the Peristyle Inn, just looking at the field, and just from a kid watching it in Mississippi to standing at the Peristyle Inn, I'm right here and I'm getting ready to go in a couple of hours, was surreal. Best game in Oakland was the AFC Championship game against the Titans. I didn't even get to that game until the national anthem was playing. I just got there because I couldn't afford tickets at that time, playoff tickets. I had season tickets, but I wasn't making that much money to afford playoff tickets. So I was gifted 2 tickets by the team, got a call from the late Cheryl Nichols to get a flight and get my ass up there and get these tickets at Will Call. So you know how structured I am, brother, in my preparation. I'm shooting from the hip, and it's just like, surprised I didn't leave I had everything on, so I had to dress before I went. So I flew out of John Wayne Airport. That was the only flight to get me there while the game was still going. So I walk in there fully dressed for the game, and the place just went quiet. And I got in the Southwest line, and there's some elderly women in front of me. So and I hear them talking, kind of whispering, and I'm just looking, staying focused, looking straight ahead, not making eye contact, just being a good guy. And security comes and taps me on the shoulder. They take me up this elevator to the full body search room, and they're hearing all this chatter about the customers in line, and they're saying, if that guy's on that flight, we're not getting on it. So there was a big joke to them. They checked me out. I was okay. Told them, hey, man, I'm just going to the game, and I can't get dressed there. So he says, they're talking about you. They're not wanting to get on the flight. So they told me, once I pass security, get on the plane, go to the back of the plane, and Cap, where they serve the beverages, there's a wall right there.
Hide.
Stand behind the wall, hide. That's basically how they said it. Hide until everybody gets on the flight, and then that's your seat right there. So I'm getting a kick out of this, man, because I'm amped up that I'm going to see the championship game. Not thinking about the people out in the terminal just freaking out. So, and the waitress was like, "You need a drink," and I'm like, "Sure." So I got free drinks all the way to Oakland, man, and it was just like, so when I get there, go to wheel call, there's a line there too. So I'm kind of anxious, like, "Hey, hurry up so I can get my ticket." So by the time we got in, brother, to the stadium, the national anthem was on, and I'm like, do I stand here at the deck before I go down into the hole? I'm like, I ain't missing none of this. I ran down on my seats, man, and I got into it with one of the Tennessee Titans defensive backs. Over the years, I've forgotten his name, but a few people knew him. We got into a trash talking. I'll just say it like that. I'm going to keep it. We got the trash talking, and I'm just like, this kid was, and I'm like, I ain't bagging down, you know? So I'm like, well, you can come over here, and the cops are right there. You know where I sat, where I stood. The cops are right there on both sides. So they see the whole incident, and they just told me, because I put my foot like I was going to come over the fence, and they like, if you do that, brother, don't let your boots hit the ground. You're going to OPD. So that was like a wake-up call. Oh, okay. Get back into yourself. So you have to reel violate in a little bit, because I'm fired up at this cat. And I'm like, dude, you about 156 pounds wet. But that's the beauty of game day, man. So long story short, Cap, at the end of the game, he douses me with a cup of Gatorade to the eyes as he runs through. And I'm you know, I'm saying, well, what about, he says, hey, he's going home and you're going to the Super Bowl. And that's like, look at the perspective. Let that go. So that was my best game in Oakland, brother. Still waiting on one of those kind of impact lifetime memory games in Allegiant Stadium. And I could say it was a Charger game that we won 63-3 or whatever the hell it was. That was just a good win. I want one of those statement games in Allegiant Stadium, and I think we're going to see that coming pretty soon with the players that we have on this squad and proper coaching.
Right. And I would say that, and I'm with you there, I think the highlight of my season, and I'm going to get to a question where somebody asked for you, they asked you what the highlight was for your season last year. I would think the highlight of my season was the very last game. We walk in there, and I have my two ladies with me. You'll see them also for the CTE event. So we're walking in, and it was reminded that they were told. I said, "Hey, we got the first pick of the draft." So before I even had to sit in my seat and get comfortable, knowing that we have the pick of the draft, and then knowing that all of the weight was off of us to go and beat Kansas City, because we have never beaten Kansas City in our stadium to that point, and beating them. People like to put an asterisk by, well, that wasn't their full team. Well, we didn't play with the full deck either.
No.
But okay. But we beat Kansas City. People in the history books from on when, looking at it, remember, you can get a ground, was it like a Texas League chop for a single in a baseball game, but in the record books, it was a square line drive. Nobody's going to know how you hit it or what happened to it. That's a win. And we beat Kansas City our last game, and it was so great to walk out with a win against the Chiefs. And Arnie wanted to ask you the biggest positive of last season for you, excluding getting the first pick.
Seeing how well Ashton Genty performed with no line in front of him. Well, with an uncoached out. Let me rephrase that. I want to get with an properly coached offensive line in front of him. shows you the capabilities that this young man has. And I'm saying that because we got to meet him. And I was just telling a friend of mine before I jumped on here about you felt that spirit in him. Like that's a beast back there behind this young man's eyelids waiting to come out. And on Sundays, you see that beast comes out. So I'm excited about his performance this coming season, man, with a properly coached offensive line that I'm sure we're going to revamp.
Yeah. And Kev, I don't always walk in with two awesome ladies, but when I do, I like to remind people about it. Okay. Cause I'm just saying, it doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah.
But I would like to say, what are the pod? Like I said, you bring on Genty as the fact is that he's going to be so much better. Going to be so much better. Even with any coaching, I hate saying it, any credible coaching, any credible coaches, our offensive line will be a lot better. Now, the coaches that were out in Seattle, they were a zone scheme type of scheme. Again, maybe we don't get any of those guys, but I'm thinking that Kubiak is probably more attuned to running his offense with somebody who runs a ZBS. So we'll see how that turns out. But what are your because you said for last year, what are your thoughts? Again, everybody's 0-0.
0-0. Yes, sir.
And we have yet to get the first pick in the draft. Okay. What are your thoughts for this year coming up?
Looking forward to fingers crossed, bringing Mendoza aboard. Like I say, Janoco signing was a good sign. That's kind of telling me that it's almost a sure thing, but we won't know until the actual pass that card in to the commissioner. Other than that, brother, seeing what we do in free agency, O-line first. We definitely need to upgrade the linebacker position. We could also use a wide receiver one and a corner safety or corner safety. We need that back end help. And if we bring what's the kid I'm thinking about that played with us this past season from Green Bay?
From Green Bay?
Yeah, the cornerback.
Stokes.
So if we re-sign him because he's a free agent, if we bring him back, that's a good start. But like I said, bro, pretty much other than really focusing on protecting their investment first and maybe showing up, getting some big bodies on that D-line, which I think we desperately need, and somebody that can, complement Crosby on the other side. If we do that, man, with that scheme that Kubiak is going to bring in, and I'm just waiting to see the DC do his thing. Like I said, everybody's saying, he never called plays. None of these guys did until they did. So they've got some veterans there to lend support. So, but I'm always about a guy getting his opportunity, man. So looking forward to that, man. I think it's going to be a different air in the building. That's what that coach brings. I think accountability is going to be in the building, which has been much needed. So I'm just looking forward to the whole organization being run right.
Okay. And I know I didn't get a chance to ask you this. I don't want to take away too much of your time from your missus out there because you were kind enough to join us. So you're here for an hour already. So that's cool. And I don't want to overstate it and tell the wife I thank you for being on it. And again, I haven't cursed yet. So you could, if she's listening, you say, well, Captain went through a whole show. Well, at least so far without cussing.
Yeah.
So I guess the only other things we got is that if you have any other questions, if you have any questions for Violator, please put them in the comments section. I will let him see them if he doesn't see them already.
They're kind of small for me to read, so just read them for me if you would. Yeah.
I tried to hit the ones that I saw, and it's good. Is there a free agent that you definitely are just, oh my God, we got to get this guy?
Free agent. There's a couple. I'm gonna say the low hanging fruit, which is the center from the Ravens, man, Lindenberg.
Yeah, Lindenbaum.
Lindenbaum. The kid's a wrestler, so that's always a plus with me because he knows about leverage and how to throw bodies out of the way. So that would be a plus to me. Keep JPJ at left or right guard, where he can be just that beast and beat up on people. So hopefully we can nail him. I also like Braden Smith from the Colts. Another masher, no nonsense, just a football guy. Bring him in for that right tackle position, and you could push. You know what I'm talking about. Oh man,
DJ Glaze.
DJ, yeah, my man DJ. Put him at right or left guard. He's a beast. Let him go full. His reason I say that is his footwork technique so far is where he loses the battle. And I watched him all last season. His footwork is not what they call it, light of foot. The big guys being light on the feet.
Yeah.
He hasn't gotten that down yet. And I've seen guys just get him not so much with a bull rush, but with speed. You know, speed to power thing, man. So put him inside and let him maul people, man. So and as far as the draft, this is a good draft if you need offensive linemen, defensive linemen, linebackers, and receivers. It's heavy. So I think we're going to be great without having to sell the farm. I think Spytek is going to have the luxury of sitting back after the first pick, letting the rest of the draft come to it. Move up or down as he sees fit to get players that they have on their board. You know, and they've got – I would love to be the fly on the wall to see that draft board one day. But I know it probably won't happen.
And again, for folks, like I said, the big thing that we were saying, in case you missed it, when they had the ceremony announcing Kubiak, John Spytek was front and center, leading the charge with what's going on. He has announced himself as, I run this shit, in case you were wondering, okay? He is the GM, and the Raiders finally have a system where the head coach is not dictating to the GM what's going on. The GM dictates to the head coach. These are the players. They're the best that you got. Fucking play them right. And so I dropped one at hour 1. So there you go. But that's true. I'm going to get you the players. I'm going to get you the ingredients. You make the chili. You cook. I'm going to get you the ingredients and go for it. And I think we're going to be a lot better there.
I think we'll see that, brother, from top to bottom. If they stay true to what they've got set in place, I think we're going to see that from top to bottom on Sundays or Thursdays, whatever nights we're in the stadium. We're going to see that.
Bob was asking, and this is a good question. Do the Raiders trade back into the first round? What's your thoughts on that? And I'll give you mine.
Oh, let's see. Because we've got pick number, 30?
It's like 36.
36 or 7? Yeah, 36. If there's a guy there that they want, and my thing is that they don't have to give away a lot, I think they will. But I'm thinking we're in a position where we don't have to give away a lot of picks. Just kind of let it fall to you. And like day 2, I could see him moving more. Like we've got pick 36, I could see him coming back into that second round and getting a guy. And I'm saying lineman at that point.
Yeah, I think if there is somebody that's just waiting to be taken. Okay, and remember, and I got to say the Chiefs, because normally it's the Chiefs that are sitting at the end of the draft. Okay, they're picking in like pick 12. Okay, so they've already picked. The Broncos are sitting late in the draft. Okay, so they're at like 4 or 5 from the end, because they were near the AFC, or they were in the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
So they're picking 32, 31, 30, or 29.
Yep.
Okay. So if there's somebody that is dropping on the board that we want to possibly prevent Denver from taking, I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that.
That's warfare, brother.
Yeah, that is. It's I'm gonna allow, like, hey, what did Gruden and all the players say when they walked into Kansas City? We were 7-8, and Kansas City, if they won that game, they would have went to the playoffs. If we ain't going, you ain't going either.
That's the Raiders way.
That's the way of that as well.
Yeah.
So, if there are any other questions for Violator, I'd like to try to. I don't see any. Bob,
Demon King here. I see some. Hope to see me in Pittsburgh. Unfortunately, brother, I hope to be in Vegas at the draft party. Not making that trip to Pittsburgh, but hope you enjoy and have a safe trip, and definitely make some lifetime memories.
Yeah, I'll see you. I'll see you in Pittsburgh there, Demon King, God willing. Because remember, tomorrow's not promised, but
I promise, yes, sir.
If all goes well, I will be in Pittsburgh for the draft, so I will definitely come by and see you in Pittsburgh. And I hope to. My aspiration is actually to be there when the Raiders pick in round 1, so you can actually see me. Yeah, because I've never ever been in the circle when they pick. Yeah. For the first round. I've been there for other things, and that's always fun. But I hope to see the first pick in the circle. But we'll see about that. But maybe one of these days,
Hey, Cap, piggybacking off what you just said about that, the first pick. Now, we haven't had many in our Raider years. We've had a few, and we fumble them pretty much. But this one, at this particular time, is monumental to me.
Yes.
It's like what I was saying when that day you talked about that last game, when I knew we had it, and I was telling the wife, don't screw this up. And anybody that came over from the staff, that's what I was telling them. Don't screw this up. But look what everything else is falling into place. It's like something baking in the oven, and you're looking through that little window, and you can just see it rising perfectly, man. It's and you're getting ready to put the glaze on the top while it's still steaming hot. Oh man, good times, man. Waiting on that. Like I say, this first pick though, brother, is monumental, and you never heard any naysaying about the kid until we were assured the first pick. Then all the stuff, the bananas in the tailpipe started coming out.
Okay. Well, let me hear about that, because I haven't heard word one of anybody saying anything bad about Mendoza, other than maybe he doesn't have the prototypical arm strength. I think that's the only thing that I've heard about Mendoza that's even a knock on him. What are you talking about as far as anybody trying to piss on our parade?
Yeah, not so much piss on the parade, but just saying, like I said, throwing doubt into it, and as if the front office is going to second guess themselves. We as Raider fans already clued in on this kid, man, because if you watched him in college and they say, "Oh, he just got lucky," well, life is about luck a lot of times, but this guy has it right here. And to me, he's just that, and they were saying, "Oh, his character." Well, we don't give a damn about his character. It's what he does on the field that really matters to us. wins and losses. So all of the other drama, we could give a damn about that. I tell people that's brought stuff up to me, remember Hollywood Henderson, if you're old enough. J.C. Horn. I'm just thinking of other guys. Terrell Owens. But these guys could play ball.
Yeah.
That's what they're paid to do. Not to be, the role model, as Barkley always says. They ain't paid to be that. They're paid to play ball.
Right.
Yeah. So we have to stick to what got us there. And like I said, not be swaying like grass in the wind, which changes daily. So stick to that shield, man, and believe. So like I said, I just want to march in the parade, brother.
Come grab me.
Yes, sir. Hey, I'll be on the stick and you have your scooter. Hey, but we're in the damn
if I tell you what, if we're in the parade, I will bring the bigger one, the bigger one. And,
so you got a passenger?
Yeah, I'll have it where you can be with, like on my shoulders or something, so we're both there. I don't care what the weight is. We'll both be on it, and we'll be waving our ass off. Or if you're on the right side, you can have the control, and then you can go for as long, the speed on it. But we'll both be there. I think.
Hey, brother, if we got a pedal like Fred Flintstone, we're gonna be some happy MFers in the parade. I'm putting it in the air right now.
Okay.
Yes,
I do that.
Yes,
because when I was in Philly, the Mummers, I don't know if you know about the Mummers Parade. No. That's one of the very famous, it's like on January 1st, and it's a big January 1st parade, and they have all of these people with exotic outfits, and it's guys, it's not girls, it's guys with these big, weird and it's colorful, exotic outfit for the parade. But they also have like the guys that do not the Masons, but the other folks that roll around in the carts. That's what I said. I'll bring my cart, just like what they had in there. I'll bring the cart in there, or we can get some that are on loan, and we can zoom around everything. We can do that as well. Just put
Hey, I'm gonna do a shameless plug. We go to my buddy at the Slingshot factory right there in Vegas, man, and get us a couple of rentals, and we'll do the parade that way.
I wouldn't say no to that. I would not say no to that. That would be good.
Hell of an experience, man. No top, so it'll be a beautiful view, man. But I'm just putting it in the universe. That's what I'm feeling, bro. And people that say, it may not come overnight. We just want to be around when it does.
From your words to God's ears, man, for sure.
Amen.
And Wayne, I want to thank you, folks. If you want to make sure that you hang out or get anything that the Violator is selling, I think it's like Moto Sports. Make sure you hit up Moto Sports. Did I get that right?
Sports. Yeah, moto-sports.com.
I see. I missed it on the. That's why I hit the hashtag wrong. Apologies.
Yeah.
But moto-sports on the hashtag and .com. You can get with Wayne and other things. And Wayne does shows. I'd love to have you back for another show.
We must.
Prior to the season.
We must.
So we can talk about what we've seen and what we've accumulated, because I always try to get you and Lincoln on. So hopefully I can get you both on before the season.
That would be some gumbo right there, bro. That's a dope bowl of gumbo right there.
Well, we'll see if we can make that happen. I'll have to talk. If you said, "Hey, I want to have a double header," I'll just shut up. I'll just let you guys talk.
Hey, man, that's gonna be some good football talk, though, man. I love Link. He's another one that epitomizes what it means to be a Raider, and that's the standard that we've set for players. And I'm just saying it. Most people don't. That's the standard that we set for players. Now, damn it may be hard, but you've got to strive to hit that standard. We ain't lowering the bar down to here. No, it's here. Mm-hmm. So that's what we expect. That's what commitment to excellence is about, not just some on a damn shirt.
Yeah, for sure. And Hey, I'm even dressed down tonight. I'm evoking Sam Crow tonight, for old school NorCal.
Yeah.
So that I'm doing that. But and obviously you got your rate of tudosis. I said that correctly too.
Yeah, rate of tudosis. Yeah. Terminal illness, baby. All you
And
can do is treat it.
make sure that you hit up Violator and myself. We'll definitely be on. Coach Defense has his podcast with all of his crew, and it was a good time to be had. Hopefully, we'll be joined by Ref Guru. We'll hope to make that happen as well. But Ref Guru's got his own life, so hopefully we'll have some. And that is why I called David Baker, David Grant, because we both.
Yeah.
I know that there was a David Grant. Yeah. But hopefully we'll get some time with Ref Guru as well. It's always a pleasure, sir.
Hey, my pleasure, brother. Like I say, we must do this again. Could be a couple of times during the season. I would say after the draft, so we can talk about who we got, what we think, all that kind of good stuff. Let training camp do its thing. Coming up to preseason, we know who we're going to have. Let's chop it up.
Yeah, you tell me. Okay. When you're free, because you got so many things going on. And by the way, if there are things that I can get to, let me know.
Already told you. Yeah,
because I'll fly. I mean, I'm not going to let that opportunity pass me by. I'll fly to do some stuff.
Hey, that's commitment right there. Love it.
Yeah,
love it.
Because I'll go out there. Why not? I ain't doing nothing else.
That's it.
I can always say my medical appointments. Well, I can cancel them and then schedule them again.
Reschedule. Yeah, I got you. Hey, man, we try to live where we have no excuses, man. It's beautiful, straightforward, no chaser, but it's gonna be honest opinions all the time, bro. Because we love that shield. That's it.
And looking forward to seeing you.
Couple of weeks, brother. Couple of weeks.
I no more $5,000 charity things for no. My budget this year is get me in the door and feed me, and that's it.
That's it. I'm good. That's it. Hey, and you make your memories while you're inside.
That's right. But yeah, see, there you go. Thank you there, Cool Kev. Thank you for putting that up. Moto-sports.com. I appreciate that, Kev.
Thank you, brother. Yes, sir.
All right. So again, Wayne Mabry, Violator, NFL Hall of Famer from 21. My brother from another mother, as he says. Thank you for joining me, sir.
Hey, thanks for having me on. Thanks for everybody that tuned in to watch and listen. Please share this out. But lastly, love on each other, baby. It's us against the world.
Got it. And I'm not going anywhere, but I'm going to let Wayne go back to the missus so she doesn't, get in his ear. You were on for 75 minutes.
I just pull the flaps down, brother.
I love the wife. I want to be on her good side. So you take care.
Yeah, got you, brother. Appreciate you.
All right. Thanks again, Wayne. We'll see you another time.
Love, man. Go Raiders.
Arr!
Yes, sir.
We'll see you, Wayne. Thanks again, man. That's Wayne Mabry, Violator. I will post the link because if you're still here, and hopefully you still are, if you're still here, there's nothing on TV other than I'm watching it. It's like curling. Are you kidding me? Yeah. It's great seeing Violator in here. I'm putting the link up. Hit up the link. Come on in and talk to me. Cool Kev is saying post the link. We had a bunch of people in here, and thank you for being here. The guys who were here. What's it? MC Raider King, thank you. Maybe trading back after the first round or trading up into the first round if there's somebody that we need to get. Okay. Yeah, getting in and out of a slingshot. Hey, You can always do things once. It might be difficult the second time, but you can always do things once. So I want to say, Chewy, thank you for being here. Demon King for sure. Hit up the link. I'd love to have anybody else come in, because again, it is the post season. Okay, it is the post season. There's the link, and the Violator link. I will put that up as well. That is the link to get in, and then that is the link to Violator. So those are the two links that you got to see. Obviously, modo-sports.com. The link to come into the show, if you want to come into the show. I mean, it's Sunday. Tomorrow's a holiday. I remember when I used to work, that was a paid holiday. I don't work anymore, so they're all, holidays are just another day. But if you'd like to talk about Spytek, if you'd like to talk about Kubiak, if you'd like to talk about Joe DeCamillis, if you'd like to talk about Rob Leonard, I'd like to talk about Mike McCoy. I think that was a very positive signing from the Raiders to have Mike McCoy join the staff. It's underscored, but people don't say that. Yeah, Jack, baseball season is starting soon. Literally, when I'm done with this, I got to go back to doing stuff on taxes, but I'm going to start also looking for tickets for spring training, because my Phillies, where's my Phillies at? I had a couple Phillies hats here. I had one. Where is it? Oh, yes. I do have two Phillies hats here, but my Phillies, I can't wait. Can't wait to see my Phillies over there in Clearwater. Yes, I know there's a shit ton of Dodgers fans in here, but you know what? You always have hope. Always have hope. So baseball season starting up. If there's anything that you'd like to talk about as well, remember, Kubiak's here. The DeCamillis is here. Mike McCoy is here. Rob Leonard is here. AJ, Andrew Janoko is here. The rest of the staff will be filled out, and we will see how that staff is. Oh, I enjoy baseball. Baseball is a lot more fun. Oh, okay. I got you. Cool Kev. One of these days, Cool Kev will come back in. I admit baseball is more fun to go to the park. Go to the baseball park and watch the game. Wonderful. If Ed's still here, Ed, I'm still going to be working on the Phillies come to LA the end of May. It is in. I am doing everything in due diligence to fly out to LA to watch the Phillies play the Dodgers at Chavez Ravine the end of May. So I have that to look forward to, and maybe more. I was thinking about maybe going up to see him at Fenway, but that's actually in early May. I got a lot of things I got to schedule in between April and May and all that other stuff. So that's it. Doesn't look like anybody wants to come in. That's fine. That's fine. I would like to again thank Wayne Mabry, a.k.a. Violator, the Hall of Famer, for coming in tonight. And just, if you watch the show, hit the share. Hit the share of the YouTube feed. Hit the share of the YouTube feed saying, hey, you want to watch Violator. And I thank everybody. I think I'm about 3 people short of 2,500. I think it's 2,500. Maybe it might be 2,400. I think I'm about a few people short of either 2,400 or 2,500. What do you call it? Viewers, subscribers, things like that. And remember, it doesn't cost you anything. It's nice if you want to subscribe and pay, but it doesn't cost you anything to hit up the channel. So I'm thanking everybody. It is a Sunday night, and Not a lot going on, but we were here talking Raider football. We'll have Violator back. I can't wait to do that. So in case anybody else is wondering, y'all take care. Thanks again. We will hit you up on, I know Friday I'll be on with Miss Peggy. So we'll do a show on Friday. Might do a show Tuesday. Might do a show Wednesday. I'll see what's going on, but I'll do a show probably maybe Wednesday because it'll be like 2 days in between. Maybe get some more people filled out on the Raider staff, and definitely do a show Friday with myself and Miss Peggy talking Raider football. So until then, y'all have a great rest of your week upcoming. Have a awesome holiday tomorrow. And on Friday, I don't know, should I do a show from my brand new jacuzzi? I might do that. I might do a show from the tub. That, why can't I? I'm going to have the jacuzzi, or technically the water, was it the water tub, the hot tub. Yeah, because jacuzzi is a brand. I'm not sure if it's a jacuzzi, but I'm going to have a brand new hot tub on Friday. Can't wait to see that. So y'all take care. We will see y'all for the next show. Yeah, pop out. Yarr, you bastards! It's Raiders season, always.